Hi everyone, welcome to Elevate Mindset with another video. Hope you are enjoying. Like and subscribe for more video. Thank you. The truth is, greatness starts in the quiet moments, the moments no one sees, the ones you don't post, the ones where you don't feel ready at all. Most people think success begins with motivation, but real change begins with a decision made in silence, before the world wakes up, before your doubts fully form. That first step out of bed is the foundation of everything. You don't show up because you feel strong. You show up to become strong. Every early morning you push through rewires your mind, teaching it discipline, responsibility, and self-respect. You're proving to yourself that you can rise, even when you don't want to. That's the difference between average and exceptional. When you choose to show up at your weakest, you are quietly rewriting your destiny. That choice becomes a habit, and that habit becomes your identity. You're not waiting for the perfect moment anymore. You're building it breath by breath, step by step. There will always be resistance. That voice in your head that whispers, "Not today." That subtle heaviness in your chest that makes everything feel harder than it should. Most people lose a battle right here, not because they're incapable, but because resistance feels real. It feels logical. It feels justified. But it's nothing more than a test. The difference makers understand something powerful. Resistance is a doorway. If something feels uncomfortable, it's not a sign to stop. It's a signal to keep going. The mind tries to protect you from discomfort, but discomfort is exactly where growth lives. Every time you choose action over excuses, you weaken the grip resistance is over your life. You don't have to conquer the whole day. You only have to conquer the next 5 minutes. Lace up the shoes. Stand up. Stop moving. Once you break inertia, your mind follows your body. And that tiny, tiny moment of discipline is how champions are built. Most people want the results. They want the applause. They want the glow up, the transformation, the lifestyle. But they forget that all of that is built in the shadows. When the gym is empty, when the notebook is blank, when no one is cheering. These are the hours that define who rises and who doesn't. Every drop of sweat, every rep, every uncomfortable moment is a seed planted for your future self. You might not see the progress today, but the compound effect is real. The invisible work always becomes visible later. It's in the late nights and early mornings where you separate yourself from the version of you that settles. What you build when no one is watching is what the world eventually admires. You don't show up for the cameras. You don't show up for validation. You show up because you made a promise to yourself, and that promise matters more than anything. There will be days when you feel absolutely nothing, no spark, no inspiration, no energy, and those days will tempt you to quit. They'll convince you that your effort isn't working, that your progress isn't real, that maybe this dream isn't meant for you. These are the dangerous days, the days that break most people. But showing up when you feel empty is one of the highest forms of strength. It's choosing the long-term vision over the short-term feeling. It's learning that discipline is not about emotion, it's about commitment. You don't have to feel powerful to act powerfully. You only need to take the next step. Some days, your best will look different, but it's the act of showing up, even at 40%, that keeps your momentum alive. You are not failing, you are fighting, and that fight is shaping you into someone unstoppable. Real change is slow, and that frustrates people. We live in a world that wants everything instantly, instant results, instant validation, instant transformation. But the human mind and body don't work like that. Growth is a slow, steady grind. It's unglamorous, repetitive, and often boring. This is where many quit, because they mistake slow progress for no progress. But the truth is, slow progress is the most powerful kind. It means you're building solid foundations, habits, and neural pathways. You're constructing a version of yourself that won't crumble under pressure. Every night you show up, even when you're tired, every hour you invest, even when it feels pointless, all of it stacks. All of it compounds. One day you will look back and realize those slow, steady steps were actually the moments that changed everything. Change doesn't come from hitting a finish line. It comes from becoming someone who refuses to quit before reaching it. Consistency doesn't just build results, it builds identity. Every day you show up, you're sending a message to yourself. I don't back down. I don't give up. I don't fold. This identity shift is what separates temporary effort from permanent transformation. You're not just training your body or your skills. You're training your mind to believe in you. You're reinforcing the belief that you finish what you start, even when it hurts, even when you're scared, even when you're tired. Once you become someone who doesn't quit, the world becomes a completely different place. Challenges feel smaller. Fear feels quieter. You become the kind of person who sets a goal and gets it. Period. Not everyone will understand your commitment. Some will question it. Some will mock it. Some will try to guilt you into slowing down, into living like everyone else. But their misunderstanding is not your burden. Most people fear consistency because it exposes their own lack of discipline. When you show up every day, you become a mirror. You remind people of what they could be doing. And rather than be inspired, many choose to be intimidated. That's okay. Your journey isn't for them. It's for the person you're becoming. If you want a life others don't have, you have to be willing to do what others won't. And that means showing up, even when no one claps for you, even when no one believes in you, even when no one understands why you're so determined. One day, something shifts. A small moment, barely noticeable, becomes a spark of everything you worked for. Your strength feels different. Your mind feels sharper. Your discipline feels natural. You're not forcing yourself anymore. You're becoming the person who does the work without needing a push. This is the magic of consistency. The transformation sneaks up on you. You don't notice it in the moment, but suddenly the mirror reflects a new version of you, physically, mentally, emotionally. You begin to trust yourself in a way you never had before. And when everything starts clicking, you'll realize the truth. The effort was never wasted. Every day counted. Every rep mattered. Every choice built a version of you standing here now. At some point, showing up stops being a struggle and becomes your standard. You're no longer the person who starts and stops. You're the person who commits and completes. Your discipline becomes your identity. Your routine becomes a weapon, and your consistency becomes a foundation of everything you do. People will start asking you how you did it. They'll want the shortcut, the secret, the trick. But you'll know the truth. The secret was showing up every single day, especially when it was hardest. The secret was refusing to negotiate with your excuses. Your standard rises. Your goals rise. Your life rises. When you show up daily, you don't just change your habits, you change what you expect from yourself. In the end, it all comes down to one simple truth. The life you want is built on the days you don't want to work. It's built on consistency, resilience, and an unshakable belief that progress always comes to those who refuse to quit. Showing up isn't something you do once, it's something you become. It doesn't matter if you're tired. It doesn't matter if you're stressed. It doesn't matter if you're scared. You show up because a future version of you deserves that effort. You show up because the world doesn't reward potential, it rewards execution. Show up every single day. That's the habit that transforms you. That's a habit that turns ordinary people into something extraordinary. Not perfect, but relentless. Not fearless, but unstoppable. Show up, and the rest will follow.